According to a World Health Organization and UNICEF Joint Monitoring Program report, access to basic water supply is only 52% in Somalia, 28% in rural, and 83% in urban areas. That is not terrible compared to other developing countries recovering from impacts of conflict like Somalia. But access to fresh and clean water is still a big challenge for vulnerable, especially internally displaced women and children.
We used to spend money on getting water for use, but thanks to donors, for the past 1 year, we have water at our doorstep. We use it for washing, cooking, and other things, but for drinking, we boil it and use other detergents for cleaning. Others who can afford get distilled water.
Some wish for better access.
If we could get fresh, clean water, we would appreciate. If that's not possible, it's okay. We're grateful for what we have now.
International organizations are helping the Somali government develop water infrastructures to improve access to clean water. The UN's Children Agency UNICEF is one of the partners involved in the process.
And we're trying to reach the most vulnerable, especially women and children, and those who are at the bottom of the ladder, especially in accessing safe drinking water. And we're trying to strive to get lots of advocacy and lobbying with donors to be able to reach the most in need, especially those in hard to reach, remote. And while saying this, we're not just focusing on the IDP camps, but whoever is in need. Settlements, communities in villages, rural, urban, we are trying to make sure that, because we know water is life, and it has to be reaching. We can't distinguish between someone is a displaced person and someone is not. No, water is life, and we will be able to navigate through whatever resources we have to be able to reach and cover.
UNICEF says the increasing frequency of flooding and drought due to climate change are projected to result in 50% reduction in water availability per person in the coming years.
What we have to work with the government on is how do we lessen and how do we mitigate the impacts of this climate change. The dire season, October, December last year, has brought El Nino, and then of course the Indian dipole effect, which had devastated a lot of riverine villages, and we have had displacements from Beledweyne up to Balad, and from Dollo to Jamame. And at the moment we have about 26,000 people displaced because of flood and resettled in Kamkam, New Kamkam, Luglo. Just from central Juba, people who are displaced are about 35 to 40,000 in this couple of camps. And now we're trying to address those. And this is the impact of El Nino.
Somalia's Ministry of Energy and Water Resources said it has laid out a comprehensive strategy for water sector for the period of 2021 to 2025. The strategy is particularly focused on addressing the impacts of climate variability on water resource management and development. Hamid Kahi, CGTN, Mogadishu, Somalia.